WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're all doing well as I always do. This is the weekly broadcast of episode 37 of the weekly live chat where you and I just sit down and we discuss in an hour, over an hour, where we discuss the things of the day, and over the last few days, I should say, over the last 7 days. This is going to be a little bit different this week. Because this is 100%, I know you guys have been waiting a long time for this, but this is 100% football. We're not going to talk anything about COVID, we're not going to talk anything about the new lockdown measures. Obviously from Monday onwards we can sit inside the pub, but that's about it. That's all we're going to be discussing. That's it, nothing else. It's going to be 100% memories, football, details. That's all it is. So the next hour we're going to have a really nice conversation. I know you guys try to grab all the football conversations in as much as possible, but we are going to be talking non-stop, 100% concentrated, unadulterated, triple X, whatever which way you want to talk about it, football. But as always, guys, before we go through that itself, just to make myself sound a little bit of a contradiction, I need to give a shout out to the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear, guys, as you can see from the icons up here, along with Admiral and Umbro Clout and Blue track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts. So go check those out. Any purchases made through the link in the description below will be sending to the company, the charity down below there, Iron Supporting Food Banks, the charity in the Newham area that have been helping those in the Newham area that are relying on food banks, hence it being called Iron Supporting Food Banks. So go get yourself a really nice retro shirt, guys, and you'll be going to help out the hang on, sorry, let's just close that off. You'll be going to help out the people that are really struggling at the moment. So guys, thank you very much for putting up with me, because obviously this was supposed to go out yesterday, but I ended up at the pub for the majority of the pretty much the majority of the afternoon and into the evening. So obviously I had to rearrange it. Don't worry, the schedule isn't going to be changing. It's going to be back to normal for next Wednesday. But Rick, good evening, mate. Hope you're right. And I just want to say, Jonathan Johnson as well, thank you very much for pledging, becoming a Patreon. You're now starting 11. We now have 5 Patreons for the channel. Thank you very much for that, Rich. John, sorry, it means a massive amount if you're watching live. I need you to reply to the message I sent you on Patreon yesterday, because I need to change the outro, because I need to know what position within the starting 11 positions you want to pick up. For example, Rick's a goalkeeper who's in the chat at the minute. We've got Tony who's a left back, etc. So please do let me know, mate, as soon as possible. And also for those that join late as well, for that matter, because I've had this week off. I've been mucking around with this a little bit. We've now got little icon that pop up here to tell you what we're talking about, because a lot of people recently been joining late and asking what we're talking about. So we're going to start it off, of course, as the only starting point we can do for this Monday was, of course, the 41st anniversary of the 1980 FA Cup final. So those 10 people that are currently watching, welcome. Great to see you. Hi, Ben. You joined in just in time, mate. We're going to be discussing the 1980 FA Cup final now, so hence the topic down on the bottom here. So let us know what your feelings are on it. Of course, the Monday was also my 41st birthday. I said 31st then, I bloody wish. My 41st birthday, as everybody knows that have been watching this channel for a good couple of years, my birthday was literally on this day. And of course, Monday was, of course, the 5 years since the last game at the bowling as well, for that matter. Again, on my birthday, for my 36th birthday. What's changed with West Ham over the last 5 years? So that's what I want you guys to let us know about it as well. I want you to let us know that your thoughts on it being 41 years since the FA Cup final, and also I want you guys to let us know about your thoughts on this as well. But TSC, welcome. Oh, here we go. Sound problems again. Again, you're gonna have to just fuck it up, I'm afraid, guys, because there's not much I can do with it, unfortunately. Hang on 2 seconds. There is something I can actually figure out because it's not. And thank you very much, guys, for letting us know on that because we've been live for 5 minutes and nobody's told me that until now. So this is what I'm talking about. This is why we need people interacting in the chat as well. Hello, HL. Good to see you again, mate. Hope you're keeping good. Let me just see if I can do something on this. Where are we? Device properties. Boom. Does that make it any better? Please do let us know. Rob, welcome. Good evening. So say, guys, you need to let me know. You guys let everybody else know. So please do let me know on this. I'm doing this. There's not much I really can do on it, I'm afraid. Let's have a look to see where. Hey, right. Right, is that any better? Please do let us know. As I say, guys, give me your thoughts on this. It's been 5 years since we played the last game at the Bowling when we beat Man United at home after being 1-0 up, 2-1 down, and then coming back to beat them 3-2. So please do engage in the conversation. I want to get your thoughts on this. While I try and sort this out, so please do it as soon as possible. Okay. Guys, as I said, there's nothing I can do. That's as much as I can do live. I'm not resetting everything. Right, what about that? Is that any better? So obviously there's going to be a delay, so I need to try and talk as much as possible. Right, so what about that? Does that make things any better? Thanks, Robert, for letting us know. It's currently 0-0. But as I say, please, for the love of God, please engage in the conversation. HL says, crazy to think how those 5 years have gone, considering how bad we've been. Gary, good evening. I know the mic is bad. Please read the chat. I'm doing everything that I can, and it's very difficult to do this live. You guys know that, so you're gonna have to bear with me. You bear with everybody else that you watch. That's bad audio. I don't even know what you mean by E in there, mate. I really don't. But yeah, it's been 5 years, and I just say, crazy to think how those 5 years have gone, considering how bad we've been. Yeah, it is. It's typical West Ham. It really is typical West Ham on it. I mean, there's not much more we can really do. With that, I mean, because the David Sullivan has actually impressed me a couple of times, and I've mentioned it over the last 5 years. He really has impressed me with some of the things that he's done. A lot of but the majority of things that he hasn't done as well, for that matter, is we've discussed it many times. But also, guys, it's come on, please. There's 11 people watching and nobody's having a conversation. I know the audio's bad, but I can't. There's not much I can do about it. So please engage. Bearing in mind, in 15 minutes, the preview of the Everton game is going to be available. So we need to say, Gary, please get in. We're not talking about that yet. Come on, please talk about the conversation that we're talking about. This is a weekly live chat with you guys. 2 up, 2 down. Evening, John. You sound like West Ham clips. These teething problems happen at times. I know they do, but I don't understand why it's preventing people from talking about what I'm asking you to talk about. This happens. What I'm saying is, people have to bear with me because I know you can hear me well enough. So please do let us know what this. Please give me your thoughts because we haven't got long. And we've been brought live for 10 minutes, and only one person has mentioned the two topics the topic I've discussed about at the moment. Come on, guys, I know you're there. I don't understand this. I've said many times over the last couple of minutes, there's nothing I can do, and yet nobody's interacting. Rick says, I do miss Upton Park. It was a good game against Man U. 5 years has gone really quickly. It has, mate, completely. TSC, please. I know it's nothing I can do. Hi Jonathan, welcome mate. Please respond to the message I sent you on Patreon. Please do respond to the message I sent you on Patreon because we need to have I need to have engagement with you to fight so I can update the information about your you becoming a starting 11. And of course, thank you very much for doing that, mate. But I need you to reply to that message, please. If it is you, I'm guessing it is because you're the only Jonathan on a regular basis. Gary says, Gary, it's literally on the screen here, Gary. This is what we're talking about. The last game at the bowling and what's happened over the last 5 years. TC's, I got emotional when the final whistle blew at Upton Park for the very last time. And as I said, I've asked you, Gary, and as I say, Gary, I've asked the question during the conversation as well. Might even talk about how bad the sound is, but as I say, there's nothing I can do. It's just one of those things, unfortunately. But TSC, mate, we all got very emotional about that. Really did. It was very hard for us to do it. Jonathan, it's got nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with the Wi-Fi. Please engage in the conversation. I mean, because otherwise, if I'm going to sit here spending 45 minutes to an hour asking you guys to engage, we might as well just shut this conversation down. Because I'm not going through this all the time. As Two Up, Two Down said earlier, it happens. We have to move on, otherwise we'll never get this broadcast finished in time. Ben says the atmosphere was amazing for the last game. Gary says, okay, too late now. We've moved. Hopefully now we can make some new memories. Two Up, Two Down says what a game it was, and it was a very emotional time for all. Absolutely, it was. Completely, 100% agree with you. Ben says it was great to beat Man United, but the question was right from the start, when everybody's been here, is what has changed since then? With the exception of a couple of things, nothing's really changed since the last game of the bowling. It really hasn't changed, and that's the worrying thing about it. Nothing has changed. TSC says, I remember when the fans were smashed up the Man United coach at the last game at Upton Park. We were very fortunate not to get indicted for that, in bearing in mind what happened with the Liverpool fans and everything else recently, and the Man U supporters and whatnot. We were very lucky on that side of things. But what has changed in the last 5 years, guys? We're still. TSC says we've been the same old West Ham to the 2021. TSC says we've been the same old West Ham till the 2021 season. Absolutely agree with you, mate. Completely agree. Gary says the best ending having Bobby turn the lights off bought a tear. Absolutely. But TSC, you're absolutely right. That's nothing had changed over 4 seasons. Start of the season wasn't exactly the best of starts either. But yes, we have progressed in from one point of view. But this is only one season. It's only one season. There's going to be a lot of problems coming up. There really is going to be a lot of problems. Says by that I mean we grew a pair of bollocks and had believed in ourselves. Absolutely, completely agree with you. Completely agree. And also for that matter, Robert says we've had some snakes. We have completely. And also for that matter, today, literally, and I thank Ken Hammers for reminding us on this. Is the 15th anniversary of the 2006 Cup final, where we lost to Liverpool in extra time. It was, again, 15 years has gone really quickly, and it's just amazing to think of what's happened since over that period of time. We've been relegated since then, but we came straight back up. Unusual for West Ham to bounce straight back up. Good evening, Tony, and before you say it, mate, yes, I know there's issues with the audio. Ben says we need to spend big money to become a regular challenger near the top half of the season. Yep. But now, but as I say, it's unbelievable. It's been 15 years since the 2006 FA Cup final. I know, okay, it's. So Robert says we've gone from 5 strikers to 1. Absolutely. Yeah, HL it is. It's 15 years since our last final. Well, if you don't count the SBO bet, etc. West Ham Till I Die says we got our first Polish international player since moving to London Stadium. Did we? was Polish. We got checked. I don't recall a Polish player ever coming, mate. It's a bit weird. Let us know if we have got a Polish player, then by all means let us know. But Tony says I was going to say he sounded like an Atlantean. Fabianski. Yes, completely forgot he was Polish. Yeah, apologies. Completely forgot he was Polish on that. So that's my bad on that. So yeah, no, as I say, yeah, West Ham till I die. Apologies. Yeah, it is. I'd say I completely forgot. I got so used to him. I didn't his background. Didn't even think about. But guys, please, again, 15 years since the cup final. Thoughts on that? Because with the exception of Robert, nobody else is really engaging in what we're talking about. So to say, I really, Ben, thank you. It was a great cup final, but I was gutted when we lost. I don't agree with the Sky Sports rhetoric that it's the Gerrard final. He didn't change the game. He made one strike. That was it. And it's not this, and that's the thing. It's sometimes that's how it goes. Hello, Mick. Hope you're alright. We sacked 2 managers. I was at the 80 final. What a day. Thank you, Mick, for that. Let us know about your thoughts about 15 years since our cup final as well, for that matter. And also, TSC says I was only 4 months old during the 2006 cup final. Fair enough. So you remember your gripe water then, mate, do you? Fair enough. Let's give you guys a few more minutes or so before we move on. Because we have to cut this short. We have to be done before 8 o'clock. Because Andy, good evening, mate. Hope you're alright. Because we have to be done by 8 o'clock because the preview for everything goes up straight after this. So we have to really do it. Tony says, remember that final? We were great that day, but couldn't stop that goal. Devastated was an understatement. Bad pass, mate. That's what caused that goal. Absolutely, really horrendous pass that should never have happened. It should have been a much better clearance than it was. And fair play to Shaka Hislop, couldn't have saved that in under any. So I don't think anybody could have saved that, to be fair. But as Gio said on Hammer's chat, you show us the goal, I'll show you a mistake, and that's the biggest mistake we've seen for a long time. Robert, we're not interested in Man United. It's got nothing to do with this. It's not important to West Ham supporters. It's West Ham Liverpool. Come on, let's just please engage in the conversation. So changing the subject now, because we're going to go now talk about the third topic for it. The Bradford City fire. 30 years ago on Tuesday, Bradford City main stand at the Vale Parade caught light on Tuesday. Yeah, caught light with some rubbish under the wooden seats and the wooden stand. I'm very surprised that nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about it. Very surprised. Very surprised. Especially, as I say, bearing in mind it's 36 years ago. Yeah, 11th of May 1985. And some people would never return. It's just I don't understand because it's not a now established Premier League team that they're not. It's just not being discussed. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Even reading through the articles, there's a reminder about it. It doesn't actually say how many people passed away because of those. Sorry, where are we? 56 people. 54 of those were Bradford's City fans, and 2 were supporters of Lincoln City. And 11 casualties of that were children. Unbelievable. Unreal. Peach, welcome, mate. Hope you're alright. HL says, such a tragedy. I remember watching a documentary on YouTube, shocking what happened. Andy says about the FA Cup final. I remember going into school on that Monday after it in tears. The most important thing was we turned up. Everyone said it's Liverpool all day long. Fair play to Gerrard interview after he did. He really praised the players. TSC says I feel like someone chant, but instead of London Bridge falling down, it's Bradford City is falling down. It was being sung for quite a fair bit, mate. Yeah, but you know it is awful. Mick says that changed stadiums forever. That in Hillsborough, absolutely, completely agree with you, mate. That's the whole point. You know that was the thing. Is just that many things. I'm keeping very well, Peach. Hope you're all right, mate. That's the thing. Is a lot of people. Let's say 56 people died in that, and it's not being remembered in the way that everybody else is remembering Hillsborough, which is understandable, but it's not at the same point. You know, there's not enough exposures about the Munich disaster for the Man United supporters as well, and the players at that time. You know that gets put on talking about match of the day and all that sort of stuff. Hillsborough gets talked about. Understandable, bearing in mind it was only just really rectified a couple of years ago. But this is just as important. This is just as important. As I said, HL, it was started off by rubbish under the stand. So in those days, what probably would have happened, what it was, is probably somebody tried to put a fag out, didn't put it out properly, or flicked a match, it wasn't out properly, set the rubbish alight, and because it was a wooden stand, it just erupted completely. Tony says, I remember, John, before they revamped the chicken run, that could have been us considering the wooden stand. It still seems surreal when it happens. Absolutely, too many lives lost just for the love of the game. Yeah, it's one person's error killed a lot of people, and that's yeah. So that's what Tony says. Yeah, a cigarette they think started it completely. Now, bringing things up to date a little bit more for you. Um, wow, something so small had such a catastrophic impact. Absolutely, HL. The thing is, mate, Harry, is the fact that it's like that old saying: 1,000 trees. One tree can make 1,000, but one tree can make 1,000 matchsticks, but one matchstick can destroy an entire forest. You know, it's that sort of thing. You know, it's that sort of perspective that a lot of people have. Need to put on the world. They really do. But next topic I want to talk to you guys about, because we talked about, I think me and Luke talked about this the other day. We were saying about the TV deals, and I wasn't quite sure when the TV package deal was going to be changing, and it isn't. We're not now going to talk about that, which is basically the Premier League has agreed to roll over its existing television deal with broadcasters for a further 3 years. The new deal with Sky Sports, BT Sport, Amazon Prime, and BBC Sport will run from 2022 until 2025. £4.7 billion deal agreed in 2018 represented a 10% drop in value. The government has approved the deal in principle with an exclusion order under the Competition Act, which allows the league to renew without its normal tender process. So basically, what it is that the league can go to all the broadcasters and say, as it has now, as they're doing now for next season, or season after next, I should say, is bam, this is what we're doing. You know, you're not going to negotiate with you. We're just going to say, bum, that's it. We're not renewing it. We're just going to extend it. Yes, the Premier League have said, in the light of the damaging impact of COVID-19 pandemic throughout the English football pyramid, the Premier League was able to demonstrate to government exceptional and compelling reasons for the exclusion order, the league said. As part of the new deal, BT Sport said that to help with the fixture congestion, they will change their Saturday lunchtime game to an evening slot when teams involved have played in Europe on the previous Wednesday. Clubs have been concerned that there could be another fall in value if the usual open market auction started as planned next month. The value of rights for domestic leagues in Europe also appears to have peaked. That's what we're saying when we talk about the European Super League, which we'll come on to in a minute. That's all it is. It's all about money. It's all about money. The Premier League say that the renewals will provide financial certainty to professional clubs and also enables an additional £100 million of funding to be provided to clubs throughout the football period over the next 4 years. That's not a lot. £25 million going to 70 odd clubs. It's not a lot when you do the mathematics. £25 a year over 4 years. The extra funding will be available to more than 1,000 clubs in the National League system, women's and girls football, EFL League 1 and League 2 clubs, and the Football Foundation. This is what I'm saying. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. It will also support a number of football-wide projects, including the Premier League's work looking at head injuries in football, anti-discrimination, and fan groups. The EFL said it welcomes the increase in funding, but warned it is important to acknowledge that the current media rights deal will preserve the status quo of an unbalanced, unsustainable, and unfair financial distribution model across English football. While we recognise the attempts by the government to increase the level of solidarity provided to League 1 and League 2 clubs throughout this process, what is more urgently required is a fundamental reset of the game's financial model, both in terms of fairer distribution of monies and at all levels and sensible, realistic cost control measures to ensure clubs will live within their means. COVID-19 has had a significant impact on football, and renewals with our UK broadcast partners will reduce uncertainty, generate stability, and promote confidence within the football pyramid, Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters has said. We know that once concluded, this will have a positive impact on the wider industry, jobs and tax revenues. The FA has welcomed the extra £100 million of funding, which Chief Executive Mark Bullingham says will help the pyramid get back on its feet. It will help, but not a lot, unfortunately. David Curran, the former Premier League rights executive, said the government's involvement in the deal was a really marked difference in the way football has been run in the past. He also told BBC Radio 4's Today programme this will buy the Premier League 3 years of some peace. It's not going to be that much peace. It really, really isn't. To see what you guys are going to be saying. Andy says, for me it's a joke. I want the Netflix of football. I would be happy, pay a subscription a month. I think nowadays the attendances will still be high if the games are all shown on TV. Just my option. I think you mean opinion there, mate, don't you? Ben says 7:45 Saturday kickoffs on BT Sport coming. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Rick says, Andy says, okay, so this guy's engaging with himself. West Ham says, is JP a gamer? Well, ask me, mate. Don't ask the collective. Ask me. Don't refer to me in the third person. That's quite disrespectful. I know it's a lot of ways that people go for it nowadays, conversations and whatnot. But if you're asking me if JP, am I a gamer? The answer is no. I'm not. And of course, we know full well that because of Leicester beating Man United the other night, Manchester City are champions of the 2021 season. So just want to say congratulations on that. It was very well done, and it was a bit of a shock for a lot of people for Man City to win it. Bearing in mind, I predicted at the start of the season that I thought Liverpool were going to retain their title. You could argue that Virgil van Dijk was one of the reasons why they didn't, because obviously his injury against Everton. But that's the thing. John says, "You have a good night out." It wasn't a night out, John. It was during the daytime. It was only meant to be for a couple of hours during the over lunch. Ended up finishing up around about 7:30. But yes, it was a very good time yesterday, mate. Thank you very much for asking. Andy Miles says, imagine 100 million fans singing, sign up £100 a year and donate some money to Football League. I want West Ham to be a feeder club for Dagenham and Redbridge. Would be good. It would be, but this is the thing, and you're kind of missing the point here, mate. Kind of missing the point here is the fact that it's not for it's more down to the fact that it's going to be spread everywhere because there's nothing that's changed here about the 3 o'clock kickoff rule about broadcast rights. This is the worrying thing about it. It will happen at some point. It really, really will happen at some point because let's not forget, this season and the latter end of last season are literally it's down to the fact that this was an emergency deal that all the channels did with the Premier League to make sure that nobody missed a back to normal and we can go to the football games on a regular basis without having to go into a ballot, it's gonna be difficult. I reckon it's gonna be completely different, and we're gonna miss 3 p.m. kickoffs again, which means we'll have to use some dodgy strings once more. TSC says, and the Livership fans thought them and their little Anfield and Mo Salah would go and win it again. Well, it was understandable, man. They had the squad to do it. They've still got the squad to do it. That's the weird thing about it. They've still got the squad to do it. There's no one reason. There's no one reason why that was the case. You know, there's no one reason why that was the thing. It's just the fact that it is what it is. What it is. But also, we were meant to try and talk about these two subjects last week, but we never got round to it, and I want to make sure we get through these again today. As we all know, there aren't going to be any away fans for the last 2 games of the season. Bearing in mind the last 2 games of the season are pretty much next week. Yeah, so I wanted to give you guys a heads up on that, which is the Premier League has confirmed that the final 2 match weeks of the 2021 season will be limited to home fans subject to the government easing lockdown restrictions in the United Kingdom. Supporters are expected to be able to return to stadiums from the 17th of May in a reduced capacity, pending the final government decision on planned step 3 conditions, which will be announced no later than the 10th of May. They were announced on last Monday. And also it was announced on this Monday, the Monday just gone, I should say, last Monday, or Monday just gone, whichever way, and there's going to be another one coming up next Monday as well, I should imagine, or probably Friday, probably tomorrow. The Premier League last week confirmed fixtures have been rescheduled to provide an opportunity for each club to host one home match with supporters before the end of the season. Match 37 will now be played between the 18th and 19th of May, with the final matches of the season kicking off at 4 o'clock on Sunday the 23rd as planned, as we know. Following consultation with clubs, it was agreed matches would not be open to away supporters due to varying operational challenges across the league and the need to deliver a consistent approach while maximising the opportunity for home fan attendance. The safety and security of supporters is of paramount importance. Clubs only when it needs to be. Clubs have a proven track record of providing COVID-safe environments and have operational plans in place ready to safely welcome supporters back to their stadiums. Fans have been greatly missed at Premier League matches, and this marks a key step towards the full stadiums, including away fans, from the start of the 21-22 season. Well, I disagree with that penultimate statement there, which is clubs have a proven track record of providing COVID-safe environments. Well, they don't, because we haven't been in them yet. You know, that's the thing. We haven't been in there yet. So how can they say they're safe? They're safe because of for the players. But that's a big sweeping statement, because nobody knows what's going on with the fan attendance. That's a ridiculous statement. And he says, in my opinion, let's say 10 games over a weekend, you can easily spread them out equal, so all games could be shown from Friday to Monday. Absolutely, that's the option that Amazon did over the Christmas period and should be doing again. TSC says, I bet if West Ham win the Premier League, little kids will call West Ham fans glory hunters. And Mars says, I've got to go, JP, to prepare for my show on Forged from Irons, Hammer Time of Our Lives review. Mate, what? Got to go, JP, to prepare for my show on Forged from Irons, Forged from Irons, Hammer Time of Our Lives reviewing the 92-93 season, featuring JP and everyone, 2-0 Saturday, Bowen and Lingard. Honestly, Mandy, mate, you really need to sort out your grammar. But yeah, have a good one, mate. Hope you're keeping all right. Hope that goes well for you, I should say. Anybody got any thoughts on that before we go on to the summer transfer windows? Hang on. Where are we? So I thought I'd put it up. Yeah, so no away fans for remaining games. Let us know for those what you're thinking on those for this season. Let me know your thoughts on the fact we can't have any away fans. It'd be nice to get some conversation engaged rather than me just talking at you as I have been for the last half an hour, because we've not got that much far to go through. Honestly, yep, okay. Peach, have you got an opinion at all, rather than saying goodbye to Andy? Anyone? Anybody? Anyone whatsoever? Anyone got? There we go. Harry never disappoints. Would have been nice to see away fans at the grounds, but I think it's better to get as many home fans at the ground. Peach, that helps. Thanks for that. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Harry, mate. You're absolutely right on that. It's just the fact that Peach, what's Ben Rama got to do with no away fans at the games? Come on. Um, but yeah, it is. You're right. The priority is having home fans, but at the same time, right, which we'll come on to in a few minutes. At the same time, we want to try and get as much of the atmosphere going as possible. I get it. I understand it. But at the same point, there's a lot of Peach. What are you talking about? It's got nothing to do with away games. The away fans. Come on. We're not talking about the game yet. We're not talking about the game at the weekend. Marsley was the only one that said that. Home and away. Honestly. Right. Well, if no one's going to actually talk about it, we'll move on. We'll move on to the next subject. Because nobody is. So we'll move on to the next subject. Right, so the summer 21 summer transfer window dates are as follows. Right, the window will open for 12 weeks from the 9th of June, so basically be 9 a.m. 9th of June, and will close at 11 o'clock British Standard Time on the 31st of August, which is to be in line with the other European leagues. 12 weeks of a transfer window. It's going to be unbearable. It's going to be absolutely unbearable. You know, this is the thing. It's really going to be very, very difficult to scrape through all of the crap that we say. And I always say this: 95% of what you read and hear on Twitter and Facebook are complete bollocks. You know, Claret and Hugh proved that point when they said that the other day when they were saying about the that West Ham, or that everyone made reactions to the video, the rumour that went out that West Ham won't have enough money to bid for Lingard. Bollocks. I've been saying it right from the start. If we finish where we are now, it's enough money to buy him. The table position alone is enough money for us to buy him. So it's just not going to happen. DC says we should get Tarkowski. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. It would be quite interesting. I don't really think I don't think he would be a good idea because he doesn't actually want to come to London. He made that very, very clear in the previous time. Harry says 12 weeks for us to be interested with a bunch of players, given the price for them players, bid well under the asking price, and then not sign the player. I can't stand it. Harry, it's a good point there because the majority of the time, those aren't actually genuine bids. Those aren't genuine bids. And they're not really genuine stories either. It's just lazy fuckers trying to make a bit of a free penny. That's the thing. Pieces Ariola, Tony, that West Rom boy, and Zupata. It's not. I didn't. Peach, I didn't ask who you want in the transfer window. I said I want to get your thoughts on the fact that it's going to be 12 weeks of rumours. Lawrence says, how many times will the board say we tried? Harry says, personally, I think Ben Mee is a better centre back from Burnley. I agree 100%. See, that's bigotry. I'm not reading that out. Pieces, you want them all? I know you do because you're great. Get who in? I mean, but as I say, what we're talking about is the 12. It's 12 weeks, not the usual 8 or 9 that we normally get. It's 12 weeks of a transfer period. So if no one's going to give their on to the next topic because nobody's really paying attention tonight by the looks of things. UEFA have bottled the Super League sanctions. As Luke and I discussed it on the other day, that they've had a small fee put on them, really small fee put on them. Any future attempts for that, then they will have any team will be put on a fine of £100 million as a result of it to try and form another league again. They're also going to be putting in things into the before the transfer window actually starts. So I was just reading Harry's question there. Does the transfer window end before the season? Transfer windows never end before the season. No, sorry, the season what? You put a question. Do you mean the season ends or the season starts? Halfway through? Because the transfer window hasn't. The 21-22 calendar hasn't been announced yet, so we won't know. It will probably be 2 or 3 weeks into the start of the season, if that's what you're asking. But please clarify on that, mate. Tony says it's a no-brainer to sign Lingard. But yeah, as I say, so with the UEFA sanctions, it's been it was a bottle job at the end of the day. It was a really bad bottle job, and I'm very disappointed in the powers that be for that. To say that any future attempt you'll be fined, but was it like 25 million split between the 6 clubs as a fee? It's not in any way, and 5% of their earnings are going to be deducted, I believe. Absolutely right, Ben. You're totally spot on with that. But it's nothing. It's 5%. It's 5%. It's absolutely nothing to those sort of clubs. It's this, and they've absolutely bottled it. Absolutely bottled it, and it's a real worry. Harry says before the season starts. Remember they changed it before to make it end before the match week 1, so that everyone had their squads done before the season starts. Yep, and it backfired big time, because that's why the statement says that it's in line with Europe, because the European teams were still able to take players out of the Premier League a week or so. Was it 2 or 3 weeks into the start of the season? So it will all be at the same where you couldn't clubs couldn't take people out from other leagues as well. So this time around they've learned from their mistake by the looks of it. TSC says should be at the very least 30%. Mate, it should be 50%. 50%. As far as I'm concerned, it is a pittance, Ben. You're absolutely right. It's an unbelievable small amount of money. Right, guys. So while we're talking about that, let's just jump onto this quickly, because I want to get your thoughts on this. Right, these are the last fixtures of this season. So as I said, that we've got obviously Brighton this weekend. That the preview for the Brighton game it will be available in 16 minutes. So we have to finish a couple of minutes before 8 o'clock for you guys to watch that. So we've got Brighton on Saturday, West Brom on Wednesday, and Southampton on Sunday. What do you reckon out of those? TSC says 9 points. Both games, Saturday and Wednesday, are live on Sky Sports. Sunday's fixture still hasn't been confirmed what the broadcast is yet. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable that they haven't confirmed what channel we're going to be able to watch it on. I'm hoping they should get it done soon, because it's 10 days away. It's 10 days away. Tony says, considering what you're saying about the top 6, it will be interesting to see if the remaining clubs in the ESL get kicked out of the Champions League for the 2 years they stated. Good point. Lawrence says football is not a sport anymore; it's a franchise. It's not even that, mate. It's just a business. It's a business, as simple as that. Ben says Juve, Real Madrid, and Barcelona still haven't withdrawn from the European Super League. They won't until it's all sorted out. That's the thing. TSC says only 9 points if we don't bottle it to Brighton. Harry says 9 points as well. To be honest with you, TSC, mate, I wouldn't say it was bottling it. Wouldn't say it was bottling it in any shape or form. Um, because Brighton have always been a very, very difficult team to play against. Always a difficult team to play against. So let's go to the next. Let's go to the next topic. So yeah, guys, give us your thoughts on the Everton performance. Yes, all right. The bigger picture means that we're probably missing out on top four because of it. Um, this is says like we bottle our leads against Brighton. We hardly ever have a lead against Brighton. Half the time we're playing catch up with them, mate. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's they're a bogey team for us. But as I say, guys, give us your thoughts on Everton. The performance. I thought we were very lackluster. I thought we were very underperforming. But having said that, for those that were involved in the conversation for the live watch along, it was very difficult to do anything because Atwell was giving everything to Villa as well, for that matter. Um, so Ben says Everton were very strong defensively. They were. Harry says disappointing game, never really got going, but I think Everton defend very well. They did defend very well, mate. They defended very well. We just couldn't take our chances. Tony says we may have a better chance with Mope and Dunk missing. That's obviously for the Brighton game. So the old man's still playing catch up like the rest of us. It says we had very little in the way of an attacking threat. Well, we were to a degree, Ben. I need to disagree with you on a little bit there, mate, because at the end of the day, we had our chances, we couldn't take it. There's the difference. I know what you mean. That's what you're talking about, but we just couldn't do it. Everton part of the bus and the kitchen sink against us. Absolutely. Peach is still about a year behind us by the looks of things. 9 points all day long out of the. I'm guessing you're talking about the next three. If we get 7, I'll be happy with that. Very happy with that. Harry says on another day, Ben Rama scores in the first half and Soufal scores in the second. Absolutely. Well, I wouldn't say he's too much of Soufal yet, mate, because he hasn't had a full season with us yet, and he's had a very trying time trying to score. But I know what you mean. Tony says, John, I think we look very lethargic against Everton. It wasn't until the last 10 minutes or so we started to do something, but way too late by then. Well, the last 10-15 minutes, mate, you're right. You're right there, mate, because that was when Atwell started giving decisions to us for a change rather than to Everton. So, but Pete says, we Game of Thrones, fourth you watch? You got Game of Thrones in there for? Crazy man. Ben says the injuries have really not helped. Harry says, did you see that Dawson blocked the ball with his hand in the game and nobody noticed? CC's point is irrelevant because we're not talking about that at all. So London Stadium upgrade. This was quite entertaining reading this. Where are we? So London Stadium will introduce a new event space claimed to be the first of its kind in the UK this summer, they claim. The North Scoreboard deck will provide a versatile area inside the main bowl for up to 1,000 attendees, aka fans, and is available to hire for corporate events and parties. Guests can take in the pitch and surroundings guests can take in the pitch and surroundings while watching a sports screening or a performance on stage while on the deck. Blah 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 blah. London Stadium has also installed a state-of-the-art LED lighting system, improving visibility and uniformity on the field of play. A new seating configuration, bringing the seats closer to the pitch and offering more versatility when transitioning for the summer concerts and sports, was completed back in August. So that'd be very interesting to see. That'd be very interesting to see what would happen with that. Hopefully we'll be able to hopefully we'll be able to sort something out. You know, because obviously there are some fans that are going back for the Southampton game. Um, Tony says, don't mention Atwell. He must have watched John Moss before he refereed us. Well, to be honest with you, John Moss did fine. I don't think he did anything wrong in the Wolves game. I really don't think he did anything wrong whatsoever. Whatsoever. TSC's not happy with the LEDs by the looks of things. Peaches dollars, absolutely agree with you, mate. Now, normally we would have a lot more people in tow than we currently do. But the Southampton ballot. Let's talk about that. Tony says we've been promised that seats will be close, just like the bowling, but still to this day we are waiting. Well, we'll find out in a week or so too, mate. We'll absolutely find out in a week or two. The Southampton match will see the welcome return of 10,000 Hammer supporters to the stadium, only the second time fans have been able to attend a match since March 2020. All full-paying season ticket holders who renewed for the 2021 season will automatically be entered into the ballot, with the exception of those who attended the Manchester United game earlier this season. I don't think anyone did they? I don't think anyone did. Season ticket holders who were successful in the Crystal Palace ballot in December will receive first priority after the match was played without supporters present. London club members will be communicated with directly around their attendance at the Southampton fixture and the subsequent plans. Any questions, please don't hesitate to contact you, blah, 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 blah. Digital tickets will be distributed from 11 a.m. on Friday the 21st of May following the completion of the health declaration form. Full information and a Q&A regarding blah, 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 blah. Now, this is the stupid thing. I'm trying to find where it is. The prices, right? Those successful in the ballot will be able to attend at the pro rata rate of their season ticket from just £5.21 per match for under 16s, £8.42 for under 21s and over 65s, and £16.84 for adults. For the full pricing list, click here, blah, 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 blah. Right, this is what I've got issue with. We haven't had a refund for the games we've missed yet, so why have we got to buy when they still need to refund us? That's what's really irritating me at the minute. Tony says, I was referring to the Arsenal game, John, the 12th man. Yeah, I see your point, mate. Yeah. Harry says he never got a ticket. Got it, to be honest. Neither did I. Tony says we were supposed to have these seats this season, John. Apparently, well, those in the Bobby Moore lower, and the Trevor Brooking lower will have them, mate. So I know what you mean. Tish says you're entered into the ballot. Well, if you haven't heard by now, mate, you never will. Because I got a text message yesterday saying that unfortunately I wasn't involved. I didn't win in the ballot, which is no surprise in any shape or form. But it doesn't matter because that means we can all watch the game together as we always do. Anyway, Tony says it seems a lot of people missed out on getting the tickets. Absolutely agreed. You know, I know some people that have got them, and fair play to them. Right, next 5 minutes. Your topics. We will talk about what you want for the next 5 minutes because we've literally got to finish before 8 o'clock. Because I know you guys want to watch the preview. So apologies about the sound quality and apologies that I missed out, wasn't able to do it. But come on, guys, I've been doing this every week for a year. Angel, hello, Miss Hatton. Good to see you again. Your mic sounds like it's robot thing, or is it just me? There's something wrong today, Marie. There really is. There's something wrong. So it's just I haven't been out. I couldn't fix it. No, I didn't know in time. Unfortunately. TSC says I want all the stands squared off and brought closer to the pitch. That's what they've only been able to do for the North and South Bank. Harry says Everton is drawing a decent result for us. Absolutely so. Ben says, what do you think of the offside rule? Do you think it needs tweaking? No, I don't think it needs tweaking. The offside rule is fine. You're referring to VAR. Two totally different things. The rule itself is okay. We need to go back to the rule of if it's not clear and obvious, then the momentum is with the attacking player. That's it. TC says I meant the east and west squared off. It's not going to happen. It's just the way that it's way it was designed, unfortunately, mate. But Ben, as I said, yeah, it's the rule. The rule needs to be applied properly. The rule needs to be applied properly. We need to bring back the benefit of the doubt for the attacking player. But as I say, clear and obvious decisions aren't being used for VAR. VAR has been used for everything, which I did say it would happen at some point. And as a result of it, you'd need to things would need to change things. We need to change the way that VAR is being used. Not tweaking the rules are fine. It's the application of it, and that's half the issue, unfortunately. So literally 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes, and that's it. So Ben says, I don't see VAR getting better in this country, unfortunately. On what grounds, Ben? Every avenue is saying it's going to be updated. It's going to be corrected. Tony says VAR, or should I say the officials need to be trained properly? It will be interesting with the new cameras that will be used for next season. Cameras not going to make a bloody bit of difference. We've got 7 or 8 there already. An extra 3 or 4 is not going to make any difference. It's how it's being used. The people need to be trained. You're absolutely right on that side of it, Tony, because you can't train the system. It's how you use the system. That's the thing. The system, I've said before, the system works fine. It's just how it's being applied, and applying it to the rules, not the rules being applied to that, which is what they've tried to do. I mean, when you work for a business, that's how it is. That's how it always is, unfortunately. So. Yeah, alright guys, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very, very much for your time. As I say, apologies for not doing it yesterday, but you can give me 24 hours over a year, can't you? If you're new around here, welcome. Hopefully next time, hopefully next time the audio would be alright. It just seems to jump in and out for some random reason. I can't control it. I don't understand what's going on. But obviously, say the preview for Brighton is going up in literally it'll be available in the next couple of minutes. So go check that out. We'll be live on Saturday evening for the watch along. So please come and join us for that. And then we'll also have and then we'll obviously have the West Brom away match watch along. The preview will be available on YouTube on Monday and on Sunday for those on the Patreon. As I say, John, if you're still here, you need to respond to me as quickly as possible on Patreon so I can update the outro to confirm your details. So, guys, in the meantime, look after yourselves, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.